meeting down at our
Yeah.
meeting we had the other day. It's just around the corner of us getting the money at the meeting.
Yeah.
Is y'all's groups still together, meeting over there in St. Joe to get your projects planned?
Yes, sir, and that's where we're at. We have a meeting today at 4 o'clock with our committee, and it's basically to review the criteria that we've worked on for the last couple of meetings to score projects. And we're going to, hopefully that committee will recommend that to the Board of County Commissioners. Board of County Commissioners will look at that and accept it or reject it on their 22nd meeting. So that, at that point, we can actually start accepting specific proposals for specific projects. for our
I
property.
noticed at the meeting, I mean, everybody has had their groups together, getting to present their projects they wanted. And that's where your projects there, you get your money faster, so. We got to.
That's right.
Also wanted to point out, it hadn't been said this morning, that the settlement stipulates that the funds come in over a long period of time. So it's not like you're going to get it all at once, so you need to be thoughtful about that as well. I think there are a lot of people working to see if you can do some financing of the project so that you can get some things done up front without having to wait over a 15, 20-year period. But the settlement does stipulate BP pays over a 15, 20-year period.
Well, I think what we need to do is get Dewberry online and then work from there, then we'll be up to the process like Gulf County.
Yeah, we need to get a board, because we way behind schedule.
We've got to restore county.
Yeah, we need to start getting our meetings.
And I'm going to tell you now, the reason I asked the warrants
We've been
question
waiting on Dewberry.
is that I'm satisfied that the work product that they're doing for Gulf County is adequate. I've looked at the scope of work that they have, Gulf County has, it's similar to the scope of work they're proposing for us. So I'm satisfied and ready to move forward with the Dewberry contract based on the scope of work and the cost that they're charging is similar to Gulf County. So I'm prepared to tell you this morning that having reviewed the scope of work and the services to be provided, I'm satisfied we can move forward. I haven't talked to Mr. Schuer about the only other term of the contract we need to put in there is that Dewberry is working at risk. They understand that they will get reimbursed when we get paid. So we just need to get that stipulation in there.
Right, Alan and I have not, we're doing this live, but I looked at the contract and that they entered into with Gulf County, between Dewberry and Gulf County, and the scope of the work and things that Mr. Pierce has looked at is correct, but there were some other tweaks that I have made to the contract. I have finished the review, and I'm satisfied that if the board is ready to move forward this morning, you can authorize the chairman to execute that contract.
So moved.
Have a motion second on the floor. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
I just want to say something, Mr. Chairman. if you
Yes,
don't
ma'am.
mind. Warren, you're in your afterlife from being a commissioner.
Yes.
And,
Yes,
but I want to thank you, and I also thank Chris Holly, but I want to thank Warren to start with for sticking up for the 8 counties at the last consortium meeting. It was a 8.5, 9-hour meeting. It got kind of rough down there a few times and very rough. And, but you protected us.
I
And,
appreciate it.
as you always have. And we're very pleased and very proud to call you our neighbor and our friend.
I appreciate that.
And Chris Holly, I love you to death, you know that. And we come a long way from there too. And I know that you will do good in EDC, Economic Development. And it's like you said, when Gulf County's doing good in economic, Franklin County does good. And Bay County does good, and everybody else does good. So hopefully we can make it a regional thing, because that's what the governor and the state and the feds are looking at, is regional projects. So hopefully we can start getting some more jobs in here. And, you know, we had an opportunity in Florida, but we don't never seem to get anything from them. So, you know, that's the reason why we dropped out a few years back, was because Franklin County didn't feel like we got what we needed to pay for, you know, what we were getting to pay for. But thank you for coming and seeing us today, and go out and take the opportunity while you're over here and look at the stuff that we have in this county, throughout the county, that may be an economic plus for everybody.
We think we've got a good team, and we certainly look forward to working with you.
Thank y'all, we appreciate it.
We got a good airport now, they can fly in here instead of going to Panama.
Mr. Eric Lovestrand.
You know, Eric sent you an email letting you guys know he's gonna miss the next
3?
He ain't been here in a while.
3 meetings because he's traveling, you know, on base for the university, attending different meetings and conferences.
I don't mean no harm by that, by what I'm fixing to say. But at some point in time, we've got to have him at the meetings here to kind of update us. And please I mean, I know he's gotta be at other places, but he's supposed to be here too.
I'll let him know.
So please let him know that. And, I'm
if I see
concerned
Miss-
about it because I'm like, the chairman said, we haven't seen very much of him lately.
I'm looking for Miss Ann Birchwell.
Miss Ann, she called yesterday, she
did?
can't make it today.
Okay,
She can't make it.
Yeah.
but you have both of their reports.
Yeah, I have
in your
both their
agenda
reports.
package.
Thank you, Michael.
We're gonna take a 5-minute recess, and then we'll be back.
Knock your soda over.
Board of County Commissioners back in session. Warden Smith, would you mind coming forward, please, ma'am? Good morning.
Hey, good morning. I just wanted to come forward this morning and just to let you guys know, I hear you talking about that the county needs more jobs available. Well, I'm here to say we have jobs available at the department out there. Right now, I have 41 correctional officer positions. We're almost like a community inside a community. We have education, we have food service positions, we have maintenance positions, we have nursing, but it's gone through a contract. So if you guys can just spread the word, we're putting out flyers. Probably sometime next month, we're going to have our community partnership meeting. So it'll be open up to the public and people can come out there and take a tour of the institution. A correctional officer starts at the age of 19. So if anybody knows anybody that needs a job, please send them our way. We're really hurting out there.
Well, don't y'all send them to school and work them part-time
Yes.
and pay them?
Yes,
Can't
we
ask
hire
no better than that.
part-time, but they have to be certified. Like for a law enforcement officer, a police officer can come out there and work part-time. But yes, we will hire them and pay them while they're going to school to get certified.
Okay.
So if y'all can help us out, that'd be greatly
What's the
appreciated.
starting salary for it?
It's like $32,000.
32,000.
And all you have to have is like a GED. You know, so if you guys have any ideas, you know, Mr. Schuler, I was going to talk to you about, we wanted to put a booth out at the Seafood Festival.
Call John Sullivan.
Okay,
I'll get you the number.
okay, great.
What about?
You know, I even thought about getting someone a fish costume and having a sign outside saying, hey, we're hiring at Franklin Correctional.
Well, you got the sign, you know, it's like Commissioner Massey and I say, we see the sign out there every day.
Yeah,
But people need to know y'all are hiring and y'all
Right.
will send them to school and pay them.
Right.
And $32,000 starting out,
that's not bad.
that's not bad at all.
And you know, I mean, we have a new secretary, so she's very excited about, you know, some new things they're going to bring forth too.
On the maintenance side, do you have to go to school for that, or?
You have to be certified in certain, or have like, for AC, you have to have so many hours and things like that, and some things you have to be certified. But our general maintenance is mainly certified in everything. And a lot of times, mainly the inmates do most of the work. You know, you're just there to kind of supervise. You know, and I hate to say this, but you know, we do a lot of stuff for the community, and I would hate for us to see us pull some of our workers back into the community just to run the prison, and I don't want to do that. So if y'all can help us, we'd be greatly appreciated.
Yes, ma'am, we don't need that.
Tell everybody.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Mike Cooper of Wing,
Morning, Commissioners. I'm going to go ahead and do the financials real quick before Mike gets up here. We're talking about July. This is 10 months into our fiscal year. Real briefly, days cash on hand went from 10 to 11. That's not a big jump, but again, that's improving from the minor improvements from prior months. In saying that, you know, we've talked about it before, we are still pursuing about $386,000 from Medicare, which represents bad debts they withheld from us from prior years. So we're on track to get that back. We're going through all the hoops that Medicare lays out there for us. Our current asset ratio is 2 to 1. In other words, assets are 2 times higher than our current liabilities. Our accounts receivable days, again, a small improvement from last month. Went from 49 to 47, and down is good. Since March, they've gone down by 50%. They've been cut in half since March. So that's good. You'll see on our income statement, we have a bottom line of about $2,800, which represents a break-even month, pretty much. Year to date, again, through 10 months, we're $40,000 in the black. We talked briefly last month also about the reason that's that way right now because we settled, we filed our 2014 cost report and got some adjustments for the fact that Medicare had been underpaying us for a year. You know, we're in the middle of a computer conversion. Usually the heads up for that is you just want to get down and duck under because of cash flow implications, but I'm happy to say that we've gotten bills out the door successfully. We've even gotten paid off the new system. We're still doing the old system too, so that is way ahead of whatever timeframes that I've ever been involved with as far as installing a new hospital-wide information system. So we're pleased and very happy that we've got correct bills out the door and some cash coming in already from the new system. In general, some trends in closing, I'd like to say, again, our AR days are down and heading down. Compared this year to just last year, it's not a wide sample, but our ER visits are trending up. And this fiscal year, our patient days are trending up. And our accounts receivable that are aging, that trend is down, these are all good trends. I'm going to stop there and see if there's any questions. I know you may have some questions that Mike's got some things to talk about too regarding operations and cash flow.
Have any questions for Mr. Johns? Have any questions, Mr. North, Mr. John?
No.
Have any?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
I just want to piggyback on some of the stuff that John was talking about regarding cash flow and also the new computer system. I am happy to say that the computer system is up and running. We did meet the meaningful use deadlines and criteria. We have already attested on that system, and we have heard from Medicaid already that there's $242,000 in meaningful use money on the way, should be here within 2 to 3 weeks. We expect another $350,000 from Medicare in meaningful use money, and that's probably going to be longer because the federal government's less efficient. In addition to that, as John said, we've done what they call interim cost reports. Because with critical access hospitals, what normally happens is the federal government continually underpays you until the end of the year, and then they settle up. Well, we have the opportunity during the year to get them to pay us correctly if you file what they call an interim cost report. In doing that, we've got $165,000 that'll be coming in the next couple weeks as well. So from a cash perspective, things are really starting to look a lot better on the horizon. Again, that's probably going to take us a couple months to collect all of that, but I'm pretty pleased with where that'll take us from a cash perspective. Beyond that, I wanted to mention that when we had our workshop in here, 3 weeks ago or whatever it was, we also had ACA at the hospital during that same time frame. ACA was performing the state's annual visit to the hospital, and they were also doing the CMS evaluation of the hospital. What that entails is we had 5 surveyors in the hospital on and off over the course of 4 days, and they look at policies, procedures, paperwork. They also look at the facility itself, whether or not it's meeting code, and then they observe staff delivering care. Following their evaluation, we have 2 exit surveys. We have one on the facility, and then we have one on the quality of care that goes on within the facility. The first one we did was on the quality of care and what the staff does out there. And I'm happy to say that that entire exit interview took about 5 minutes. They had only some housekeeping items for us to correct. There was no issues whatsoever with the quality of care. On the other hand, The two surveyors that did the facility itself, we spent an hour and 15 minutes with them in Exit while they delineated for us all of the deficiencies in the actual facility. We have had to send into the state a plan of corrections, and that is likely to cost, to get those corrections done is likely to cost us anywhere from $25,000 to $50,000 this year. But overall, it was a very good survey, no major issues having to do with patient care. Really, the other thing that I wanted to mention was just physician recruitment. I think at the last meeting, I did mention we do have a new physician, and we have him on a 4-month contract, so we can both evaluate him and vice versa. We signed another contract with a physician yesterday, and are treating him very much the same. He'll be starting in the 3rd week of October, and it is, again, one of those contracts where we're going to evaluate him at the same time he's going to be evaluating us. He actually owns a house on the island, so would be a very good fit for us. And we have another physician that is wanting to come on a permanent basis, full-time basis, and we are trying to create that same type of contract where we can have her here for a couple months and see how things work out before we commit on a full-time basis. So the physician recruitment has been going very, very well. And I don't have anything else at this time, but I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Which one's the first one the first one you hired? Is that Dr.
Nutt,
Nutt? Okay.
yeah. The one that's coming in October, because I don't want to butcher his last name, I just call him Dr. Leo.
Leo.
It's Frangipane or something French sounding, but all 3 doctors are American-born, American-trained, and all 3 are from Florida, so it's not like we're getting them out of God knows where.
These family practice or what?
I'm sorry?
Are these family practice or what?
Yes, they're all family practice physicians.
Anybody have any questions for her?
I've got a question or two. Mr. Cooper, what's wrong with that loaner ambulance, the loaner ambulance? Isn't there problems with it?
We had some minor things that were wrong with it. There was the air conditioner in the front cab. The air conditioner for the patient was, you could have hung meat back in the back part, but up there where the staff is, we had to do some service on the air conditioner. There was also an issue, when you take a stretcher out of the back of the ambulance, a lot of ambulances will have a hook or something that when they draw that stretcher out, it automatically drops the legs to the stretcher. And this particular ambulance didn't have that. And I think there was, the one thing that the staff doesn't like about it is not as high as a roof, not high a roof in the back as some of the newer ambulances. Some of the staff didn't like that, but otherwise, it runs very, very well and has performed well.
Okay. Have you, the board approved a couple of meetings ago, another unit for you to go ahead and get up to $160,000. Have you already went and ordered that ambulance also?
No, we have not ordered that yet. We are doing our due diligence right now, and what I'd like to do is to get the first ambulance that was, that came through the grant, so we can see if there are any of those issues, like I just mentioned, like it didn't have a hook on the back to let the stretcher down, so we can correct those in the order for the new ambulance.
So you're saying we don't need another new ambulance?
Well, I think we do need a new ambulance, but I would
Well,
just...
that's what we bought, that's what we approved you for, was another new ambulance, and that's what I'm saying. I was asking why, hasn't anything progressed forward with it? Because like I've emphasized at the last, meeting that we talked about it, we do have far-reaching areas in the county, and, not only do I want the patients taken care of in the ambulance, but I want those drivers and the EMTs and paramedics taken care of. So, I mean, you got a vote up here that said move ahead and move on with another new ambulance. I was just wondering why you were taking your time doing it.
Just doing our due diligence, Commissioner. I mean,
That's not gonna get you nowhere. I don't want to put nobody's life in jeopardy, and that's what I'm up here for. I don't want to put anybody's life in jeopardy. That's why I made the motion to go ahead, and I had a second and a third vote on it, and I would appreciate it, because as I said, this county commission, the county commission is responsible for emergency medical services. And you came to us and you said that you needed one, we gave you what you wanted. So, that's what I'm saying. That's the only thing I have, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you. Anything else?
Yeah, last meeting, we were talking about the new hospital. Where y'all at on that? I mean, recommend,
I think myself, the hospital staff, and the hospital board we're good to go. I think the message that I received was that the commission would like to have all 5 commissioners present before we move forward on that.
I had several phone calls last night from 6 o'clock to 11:30 last night out of District 1. They're not being represented at the moment. They would like their commissioner to be here, so I'm gonna tell Mr. Allen or Michael to try to get a hold of up somewhere in Tallahassee State of City to go ahead and get one appointed. We need to be, see if they,
Commissioners, I did call, there are 5 names right now at the governor's appointment
okay.
office. But that's I hate to say it this way, but that's the governor's call.
Yeah, I mean, just call, let them know what we need to.
I keep calling and I asked Megan, I'm sorry, Megan is there at the office and she says, he'll do it when he does it, basically.
Well, and I had the same calls too, Commissioner Massey, asking us to try to hold off on it with only 4 commissioners on here, and in the past, that's what we've done. And I'm gonna go ahead and make a motion that we not proceed on with anything to do with the actual building of the hospital until we get the 5th commissioner up here. Because District 1 and the people of District 1 needs to be represented. And I think we've got a letter here, isn't that? Yeah, that said that they would like to have, in this letter, they said that they would like to be able to speak before the board before we make any, I'm trying to read it because it's wrote out. Full-time residents of Franklin County would like to testify before doing that, before the commissioners, so.
We'd like to be
anyway.
appointed, we'd like to have our commissioner appoint us on District 1 before making any decisions
Yeah, I
before the
could read
board, that we can be represented by our commissioner in District 1.
Okay, you can read it.
Okay.
All right, but I made a motion to not take any action until we get that 5th commissioner.
Do I have a second? Do I have a second? Didn't like a second.
make a motion,
I'm
we
not
move
voting.
forward with the hospital.
I'm not voting today, so, till we get the 5th commissioner, because I'm not going today. We get our other commissioner, I'll vote.
I make a motion, we move forward to the hospital.
Do I have a second?
What, I don't understand what we got.
Mr. Block made a motion to go ahead and vote to build a hospital.
Where did the letter come from?
We got it in our stuff.
People wrote it, but I had the phone calls till 12 o'clock, or 15 till 12.
It was in my paper.
Started 6:38
Well, did
yesterday
you have
evening.
one for every commissioner? Or Michael, did you have one for every commissioner? One of the commissioners
me
didn't get it.
verify.
Because I just noticed it in my packet.
Yeah, did you have one for,
Is this what we talking about?
Yeah. You can copy that.
Got one
for
in
the-
your mail.
Do I have a second?
I mean, we got ourselves in a bind here, only having 4 commissioners. I mean, I'll second it, but it's clear that Commissioner Sanders and the chairman, are not willing to move forward.
Commissioners,
Not until we get a 5th commissioner.
the hospital board is perfectly fine with waiting till you get a 5th commissioner. We don't want to put
As soon as we
anybody.
get the 5th commissioner sitting there representing the people, I'll vote.
Okay,
Some of them's off the island, some's out of East Point in District 1. People's lived in Franklin County their whole entire life. Doug knows them very well, I know them very well. They asked me for courtesy to please wait until we get a commissioner to represent them. And I told them I would.
the hospital board is
I
fine
appreciate
with
it.
that.
And that was my motion, not to move ahead.
Just move ahead
And
until
it died
we get
lack
the
of
5th
it.
commissioner. If he's appointed for the next meeting, we'll make a decision for the next meeting.
Okay.
Yes, sir, come forward.
Do you have anything else for me, commissioners?
No, I don't.
Thank you.
I'm with the hospital board, and the board's fine with waiting until you get a 5th commissioner to move on this. But we are gonna have to move eventually. And, you know, what the board would wish that y'all would send a resolution to the governor to appoint a commissioner. When he appointed Commissioner Jackal to the job she now has, he knew he was gonna have to fill that seat. This is not news to him. And for him to drag his feet and hold up this county's business is not right.
He's
So-
holding up, what, 4 down south right now?
I mean, but this is no surprise to him. When he pulled her out of that chair, he knew that it was gonna be empty.
Yeah.
And he knew that he should put somebody there.
Got
He should have
one.
had somebody put there when he pulled her out
Yeah,
of
he
there.
got one in Guff County, Doug. The man that just left here, Mr. Warren Yeager, that hadn't even filled his spot. He's been gone for several months.
But we need a commissioner in that chair so this county can do its business.
Yeah.
And I would ask that y'all send him a resolution, asking him to fill the chair. Apparently, he's forgot it.
Will you send a resolution?
They need a motion for that.
Have a motion.
Okay, have a motion on the floor to send a resolution.
What, do you want the
I want
resolution?
I need a motion to send a resolution to him, go ahead and appoint.
But if Mr. Lockley would be kind enough to withdraw his motion until the next meeting, you know, the hospital board would be fine with that.
Voting on appointing them the rest of the year.
He's
Sir,
gonna appoint one for the rest of the year. He's fixing to appoint one here shortly.
then the hospital board may change their position. But I think he's probably, especially if y'all would encourage him, he would probably go ahead and make that appointment.
Okay, since I'm gonna take the recommendation of the hospital board and I'll, withdraw my motion.
Thank you.
Now, I need a motion for a resolution
A resolution for
to
what?
send to the governor's office to them to go ahead
What
and,
do you want the resolution to say?
we need to go ahead and appoint our county commissioner to our seat in District 1 in Franklin County.
Okay.
Well, however the lawyer wants to send it or get it, he knows how to type it, that's where he's there, send a good letter.
Well, if the board is inclined to send a resolution, if you'll authorize the chairman's signature on the resolution, I will draft one and prepare it for his execution.
Okay,
With the essential message, just so that I'm clear on what the board's instructions are, you want to move forward with the hospital.
we need to move forward,
You
but
don't have
also
a
a lot
fifth
of the stuff we
commissioner
got is
in
coming
question.
up. We got more stuff coming up, we gotta have the District 1 to be representative.
Yes,
So we need to send a letter to go ahead. Mr. Warren Yeager just sent one a month ago to reappoint him.
yes, sir.
But theirs hadn't been filled, and he's been out. what,
3 down
4
south, that hadn't been appointed, you know, them 3 down there.
Right. Yeah, I'm not aware.
It's on the news, 6 o'clock news, I've been watching it.
I'll
What's
make
the
that
board's
motion,
pleasure?
Okay.
if nobody's made it yet.
I have a motion on the floor. Do I have a second? Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Send a letter, sir.
A grant from